2 in the morning, and the highland sky was still that dead blue that never goes fully dark. I was standing on asphalt I had poured myself. Headlights were coming up the new straight section. From the east. From 400 meters of road that, until Tuesday, had not existed. The first car passed me at walking speed. Nobody inside turned their head.
You came back. Good. The toll tonight is one road in Iceland, and the 400 meters somebody made straight. This one is still being built.
The plans came down from Reykjavik in March, and Sigurdur would not sign them. I had been surveying for the road authority 6 years by then. Out in the east, where the Highland Road runs between the lava fields and nothing else. Sigurdur was the foreman. 61 years old, hands like tools. He spread the drawings on the tailgate and put his thumb on one line. 400 meters. A bend that came out of nothing and went back into nothing. Flat ground on both sides. No rock in the way, no river, no raisin. The plan straightened it. He said no. They asked him for an engineering objection. He did not have one. There was no grade problem. No sightline problem. No drainage. He only kept saying the bend stays. I asked him why in the truck alone. He was quiet a long time. Then he said it is not about what is in the ground there. Everyone tells you it is elves. Let them believe that. It is about the line. I did not know what that meant. I wrote it off as an old man who had been out there too long. They pulled him off the job in May. They gave it to me. And I want to be honest about this part. I did not do it under protest. I straightened that road because it was the correct engineering decision. 6 weeks. One dozer. One small charge on the lip of a black rock that was standing in the way of nothing at all. We laid the new line dead straight, and we tied it into the old road at both ends. The first thing that bothered me was the maps. I had every survey of that region going back to 1937, because you always keep them. One night in the site hut, I laid them out end to end. And I found the other bends. Not one. 14. Over 90 kilometers of road. Every one of them the same. No terrain. No raisin. No note in the margin explaining it. 14 deliberate kinks in a road that any man with a length of string could have laid out straight. And every single one of them had been surveyed by a different crew in a different decade who could not possibly have spoken to one another. I sat there with cold coffee going gray in the cup, and I thought they were all told the same thing. Keep the bend. And not one of them was ever told why. Then at 2:10, out on the new section, I heard an engine.
14 bends. 14 crews who never met. Ask yourself what everyone out there was so careful never to write down.
There is no road east of that section. There is a track that gives out after 9 kilometers at a washed-out bridge, and then there is lava all the way to the ice. The headlights came out of the lava. I counted 6 cars that first night. Boxy old shapes, some of them from decades I only knew from photographs. Newer ones too. All of them moving at the same slow speed. Every one of them turned onto my 400 meters and carried on west toward the villages. None of the drivers looked at me. That is the part I still cannot put down. A man standing alone on a highland road at 2 in the morning is the most interesting thing for 80 kilometers in any direction. Not one head turned. The second night, 11 cars. The third night I stopped counting at 30. Whatever stood at the far end of that line had been waiting a very long time for a road that went all the way through. On the fourth night I drove to Sigurdur's house and stood in his kitchen and told him all of it. He was not surprised. And that was when I understood that he had never been protecting anything inside that rock. He said it plainly. A road is a promise that 2 places are joined. That is all a road has ever been. The old men who cut the first tracks out here understood that a finished line can be used from both ends. So they never finished one. Every bend is a break in the promise. 14 times we told the ground, this does not go through. I said, and I connected it. He said, you connected it. I went back that same night with a rented excavator and I cut the straight section out of the ground. I put the bend back with my own hands. Wrong grade. Bad camber. Ugly, ugly work. And the traffic stopped. That was 11 years ago. The bend I dug is still out there. I drive it 4 times a year to be certain. But here is the part that did not reach me until much later. The other 13 bends are in the national plan. They are listed as legacy alignments. Non-compliant curves scheduled for modernization. Nobody signs anything in blood. It is a line item on a page. They did 2 of them last year. And there is nobody left out there who was ever told to keep them.
14 kinks in one road. Every crew that cut one was told to keep it, and not one of them was told why. That is how the rules that matter survive. Not by being explained, by being obeyed. Now think about where you live. There is a road near you that turns for no reason at all. You have driven it 100 times. You have never once asked what it is turning around. Tell me about that road in the comments. Be specific. I collect these. Subscribe. The lantern stays lit either way. And tomorrow, a house where every door was hung to open outward. And the one door somebody rehung.